Hey, what's up, guys? Ben from My Sports Stop here with Richie Donnell. Our scouting report today is on Zach Cunningham from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, this is a guy who's been pretty much a wrecking ball for the last 2 years in the SEC. Maybe not as known because he does play for a school like Vanderbilt that doesn't get the publicity of the other SEC schools. But this is a dude that's been wrecking havoc on all the SEC teams. He's been an All-American, 200 tackles over the last 2 years. This guy is just a tackle machine who gets it done from the inside, where right. I think he's going to end up staying. But I think what's also good about him is with the length and the ability, I think he can play inside in both the 3-4 and the 4-3.
Okay. Now, personally, we talked about this before in our other videos. I see him more as an outside linebacker. Why do you see him as a middle linebacker?
Yeah, what worries me a little bit with him is I don't think that he necessarily has that next level get off or that next level explosion to stay on the outside. I think he's better fit in the box. He's a guy who's going to be able to work in small quarters, who's going to be able to weave in and out of the lineman. He's still going to get a ton of tackles.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't see him as a guy who's necessarily going to be an edge rusher, who's going to be able to contain on the outside, to be able to get out there with that speed. It worries me a little bit. Not to say he can't do it, but the athleticism scares me a little. And I think from an inside standpoint, he's a guy who's better off fit in the small quarters and possibly just roaming throughout the box as the cleanup guy, mopping up run plays inside.
Yeah, and to me, I think first and foremost, he's a run stopper.
Yeah.
I think he's a guy that's, like you said, he's going to be getting a lot of tackles no matter where he plays, inside or outside. But I do think he's also a very good pass rusher. I think he's somebody, may not get 10 sacks a year, but somewhere in the 7-8 range, is going to be a real good contributor to whoever he plays for.
Yeah. The comparison that I have for him is a guy, David Harris, who plays for the New York Jets, whose similar situation at Michigan was kind of inside and outside at Michigan, and then the Jets kept him inside, which I think is going to be for Cunningham. Harris is a guy that gets you 4 to 5 sacks, which I think is kind of Cunningham's ceiling a little bit, but he's always at 100 to 120, 130 tackles, and that's where I see Cunningham as a guy where with the total tackles, he's going to be in that 100 to 130 range every single year, just because he knows how to read well and get to his spots, and I think that's where he's going to make his living.
Yeah, and I went in a different direction, obviously. I went with Jamie Collins, who, with the Patriots was so dominant outside linebacker, and with the Browns, kind of towards the end of the year, he was that inside linebacker, and so I'm not saying that Cunningham can't play inside linebacker. I just think he'd be better at outside, but I think Jamie Collins, though, expect a career like that for Cunningham.
Yeah. I guess for you, where do you think he's going to go?
I think he's going to go in the first round. I think it's going to be somewhere in the late first round. And if you want to compare him to the tweeners, I would still rank somebody like Derek Barnett a little bit higher than him. And I think people like Charles Harris and Taco Charlton, he's going to be in that range.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the 20 to 30 area.
Yeah, I think the back end of the first round is kind of his ceiling, so to speak. I think if he's any higher than that, not to say it's a reach. I think he's talented enough as a linebacker to get into that range. But I would look for value-wise, I would look more of that back in first round, possibly even into the first, maybe 10 or so picks of the second round. I think would be a huge value for him and for a team that's looking to get maybe solidify that inside linebacker spot if they don't take Reuben Foster at the top.
But overall, I think inside or outside, we can both agree he's a hell of a player.
That we can agree on.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to go on our website, mysportstop.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more original videos.